Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. This is sort of a later video. I've just got done watching the EA press conference, and I'm going to give you my opinions on it. I'm going to give you a score out of 10, what I personally thought, out of 10, what it deserves. Going to break down every single thing that they shown at the conference, and yeah, just in general, what I'm excited for, what I'm hyped for, things I didn't like, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's E3 time, guys, so expect a ton of content on this channel, everything E3 related, every conference. I'm going to try my hardest to give you a breakdown of the conference and my thoughts and rating out of 10 of every single conference this year. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get into this. And first of all, this is in no particular order, just stuff that I noticed. FIFA 17 story mode is going to be awesome. I mean, I know E3 is not the place that you show a lot of sports games, unless you're EA, and then you just show sports games. Now I'm joking, but FIFA 17, they're adding a story mode. It looks really awesome. It's called The Journey. You go from a kid who's just at school. Reminds me a lot of NBA, and that's something I was hoping for. I've been playing NBA 2K16 on the PS4 because it was free, and that story mode was actually amazing. Now, some people may never touch the NBA 2K16 story mode, but me personally, I thought it was amazing. And yeah, if you haven't played it, please go through that story. It's actually a really awesome story. But awesome to see story mode in FIFA. I put so many hours into FIFA, career mode, manager and player. So now to have this, it's just amazing. And the next thing was Madden. Now I live in the UK. I don't really care about American football. I'm going to say something now, though, about these two announcements. Although, yes, I pretty much play a ton of FIFA every single day. I love FIFA. But this was, I think, a little bit disappointing for me. Obviously, I'm excited for the announcement, but bear in mind, this is a games conference, and okay, it is a sports game, but is this really what you should be showing at E3? I was a little bit disappointed about how much Madden and how much FIFA was shown, in my humble opinion. Both going to be great games, both going to sell multi-millions, and I do understand that these are both probably the most profitable things for EA when you go from a $60 game that sells multi-million copies to the amount of DLC microtransactions that are sold on through Madden and through FIFA. I mean, I can understand why EA is pushing it, but yeah, a little bit disappointing how much time they spent on it, but that's my personal opinion. Let me know yours down below. Now, the thing that actually started the conference, Titanfall 2. My God, guys. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I didn't have an Xbox right at the start of the generation when the first the consoles come out. I'm a big PlayStation dude, so I missed out on this game originally. Watched a ton of gameplay. It looked fun. I mean, I can't say any more than that. I'm gonna be honest here, guys. I am a huge single player guy. I love my RPGs. I love my single player orientated games. Yes, I play a lot of Uncharted multiplayer, but I didn't buy Uncharted for the multiplayer. I bought it for the single player campaign, and the multiplayer is a nice extra. So for me, I'm not a huge multiplayer only guy. So for me, I was really hoping that the Titanfall story looked good, and it really does. It really does look awesome. We'll have to see how it turns out, but it is incredibly beautiful. I've got to say this now. Titanfall 2 looks really, really good. The story looks a lot better than obviously the multiplayer, in my opinion, from what we were shown from the gameplay that we were shown at the conference. You can definitely see the multiplayer doesn't look as good as the single player, but ultimately, what do you want from a multiplayer? Smooth frame rate, and also a ton of fun. And that looks like what Titanfall is going to be. My first chance to play Titanfall, so I'm excited for this. Yeah, and I think it's awesome that it's on the PS4. Looks like it's going to have PS4 marketing because whenever they mention Titanfall, it's like, oh, it's coming to the PS4 and it's on PS4, Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like they've got the marketing. Not that it really matters, but my hope is that maybe, just maybe, probably won't happen, but the port comes over to the PS4. Because again, I have no problem with it. I just think Titanfall, the servers are not that, there's not too many people on the servers at this time, and it's kind of pointless if there's not many people playing it to buy the game. But yeah, really exciting for Titanfall, and let me know, guys, will it be your first time playing Titanfall like myself? Did you get an Xbox? Are you in love with Titanfall? Did you hate it? Let me know down below. I always reply to you guys. And yeah, like I said, Titanfall multiplayer looks good. Now, this was another thing that was a little bit disappointing from the conference. Again, looked amazing. I've got to reiterate this. Mass Effect Andromeda Frostbite engine, it looked mind-blowing. This game looks incredible. It's Mass Effect, of course it's going to be amazing, but the gameplay looked great. It looked beautiful. The only problem is they didn't really show anything. Do you know what I mean? There was a woman who kind of woke up, and then there was some flying around in a spaceship, and then that was kind of it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't really show anything from Mass Effect. And bear in mind, guys, Mass Effect's meant to be coming out early next year, so this has got me a little bit worried about the game, because they say they're going to show more in the fall, but like, it's meant to come out early next year, so it's a little bit confusing with Mass Effect, and really a little bit of a downer, because again, Mass Effect's going to be great, but you just didn't really show anything. But again, look beautiful. It's going to be amazing. There's more to explore in this game apparently than any other Mass Effect. It's going to be bigger, more explorable, and that's just incredible. That's great. Cannot wait to see it. Then there was this new incentive by EA where literally they're giving all the money from indie developed games by EA to the developers. That is awesome, and you have to take your hat off to EA. That's incredible. A lot of indie devs, they're struggling to get by, they're struggling to pay for these games, and really they don't make a ton of money back on it. So EA giving them all the money from it, probably funding it as well. I mean, what can you say? That's incredible from EA. Now, EA gets a lot of, let's just say, hate, you know what I mean, from gamers, but you've got to take your hat off for this particular act, because, well, I thought it was really cool. Now, a little bit disappointed that they didn't do this for Unraveled, because, if I was Unraveled dev, I would be a little bit salty that they brought it in after I just made this great game for the for them. But it is what it is. But there's a game called Fee. Now, it's a bit of a weird name. It was F-E. It was a strange name, but it does look beautiful. It looks a little bit, to me, like Ori and the Blind Forest. There's no speaking in it, and it definitely is meant to be challenging. So basically what I'm getting from this is it's very much like Ori and the Blind Forest, in a sense. But yeah, indie game, can't say too much about it. We saw a little bit of gameplay. Looks beautiful, looks fun, but we'll have to see, when it comes out, how good it is. Now, the big part of the conference, for me personally, the big part of the conference, Star Wars. There was talk of 3 Star Wars games, and you could argue 4. But basically, there will be a new Battlefront 2 coming next year, 2017. That's awesome. I love Battlefront, the original. It's just another one of those things. Although the gameplay was fun and I liked the game, I put a lot of hours into it, I still feel a bit salty about buying it, simply because there was no single player and it really frustrated me. Again, great game. It needed a single player. Now, I let Star Wars Battlefront off simply because I understand with the Disney thing, they couldn't really do anything. They had to tie it in with the movie, but they couldn't, use any assets from the movie before the movie's out. So it's a little bit like they had their hands tied. But this definitely needs a story mode. And I think, from what I've heard, they are going to do it. They're listening to their fans. So Battlefront 2, I'm going to say, is going to be amazing. And it will have assets from the story. It will have stuff from the film. So that's going to be awesome. Can't wait for Battlefront 2. Yeah, and it's going to be awesome. The next game, Visceral Games, yes, Amy Hennig's game, the sort of Uncharted in space game, has kind of been announced. We didn't see too much of it, but they're kind of working on it. We got some in-game like screenshots, but we didn't get a ton of info, which was a little bit disappointing. But we did get the release window, I guess you could say, of 2018. Which is, again, we've got a release date. That's all I can say about this game. It looks amazing. Amy Hennig's going to make a fantastic game. We all know this, you know. We all know Amy's going to make a fantastic game. But it's just, it seems a long way off. But thankfully, they didn't show us gameplay that was not going to look like the game. They just told us about the game, which, again, I prefer. But at the same time, you know, it's a little bit disappointing that it's so far off, but, you know, it is what it is. And through 2018 and beyond, so probably 2019 to 2020, which is a long time away, Respawn Entertainment will be making the third of, like, the trilogy, I guess, of Star Wars related games. So we don't know really anything about this game. Is it going to have a single player? Is it multiplayer only? What the hell is this? I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what it's going to be. But it should be a lot of fun. But we'll have to wait and see to see when this comes out. Probably in 2019 at the latest. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot for the Star Wars fans out there like myself. A lot to look forward to. A lot of games come in a short space of time. So next few years is going to be jam-packed with Star Wars games. And then finally, there was a little glimpse of a VR headset. Not too much shown on that. It's actually coming. The VR experience, they call it, is coming 2016. It's called Rogue One. Again, I don't know anything about it. It's literally just Star Wars VR. Is it going to be gameplay? Is it just an experience? We don't know yet, but hopefully they're saving that more for Sony's conference, because Sony's going to be showing VR. It's a PlayStation VR exclusive, so I can see them leaving that till Sony's conference, because again, that would make sense to show. But I've said, my good friend Infinity Games, I've said to him many a time, this is the killer app for the VR. You know, I'm a big VR advocate, but Star Wars in first person VR, is there anything better than that? I don't think so. Cannot wait for it. And if you're a Star Wars fan, I mean, is there a better time to be a gamer and a Star Wars fan? I don't think so. Next, we got a ton of free, you know, that got a ton of DLC for the Battlefront, as well as Battlefront 2 next year, Visceral Games, and then Respawn, on top of a VR game. It's not much better than that, really, is there? And a quick heads up to you guys with Xbox Ones, there will be free for a week, free EA access. That is awesome. So if you want to try out the service, try it out. It's a cool service, I will say that. And it's what I always be honest with you guys, it's one thing I'd love PlayStation to bring. I don't think they will, but it's one thing I'd love PlayStation to bring, is EA access to the PS4. You know, so I can play the games with my friends, and I can play games you know, early with my friends, and with where I feel more comfortable, which is obviously on the PlayStation. So I mean, you know, it's awesome to see. So if you got an Xbox, make sure to go try. And finally, I want to talk about Battlefield 1. Very much an anticipated game by a lot of people. I can't sit here and, you know, lie to you guys and pretend I'm this big Battlefield guy, because I'm not. I didn't really play Battlefield 4 that much. Hardline I didn't even buy. I love Battlefront, the multiplayer. but I can't sit here and act like I'm this big Battlefield enthusiast. But I will say the game does look goddamn beautiful. They love this Frostbite engine. I will say EA are loving this Frostbite engine, and I don't blame them with how good these games are looking at the moment. But yeah, it looks beautiful. There's air warfare. You're going to be fighting in planes. You're going to be fighting in blimps. There's ground warfare with tanks. I think horses as well. You know, there's going to be melee combat. There was an axe and a sword. There's guns, plenty of guns. There's a lot more focus, obviously, on the melee combat and like the space. It's not space, sorry. Like the flying around attacks. But yeah, looks awesome. Really cool environment. So there's sort of a World War One inspired France. It looks like, to me anyway, like a French village, a British village. There's just a ton of different, you know, old typey, you know, places, which is cool. And I just feel that, you know, they should have shown more of this at the conference. But there is a live stream going on as I speak, so that could be yeah, that could be awesome. Two things I want to talk about the live stream. Again, apparently it's awesome, the live stream that's going on. It's awesome. But I will say, why did they have Zac Efron, you know, at the conference? I mean, for me personally, I know celebrities are cool to endorse games and stuff, but get yourself a pro gamer to advertise the game. Make it look as good as possible, because these celebrities aren't particularly the best at video games, so I feel that maybe they should have had maybe a pro gamer there instead. Maybe that's just me. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, I'm going to give you my overview of the whole conference as a whole. What did I think of it? Was it good? Was it bad? I think it suffered very much from the whole PlayStation experience syndrome, as I call it, you know. The problem was, it wasn't a bad conference at all. You can't have a bad conference, show Battlefield 1, three Star Wars games, Battlefield 1 and Mass Effect Andromeda, and have a bad conference. You just can't do it. The problem was, the pacing was god-awful in the conference. I think, instead of showing 10-20 minutes and talk about Mass Effect, they spent 5 minutes talking about Mass Effect. Instead of spending 10-20 minutes talking about the Star Wars games, they spent 5 minutes talking about the Star Wars games. And that's fine if you were doing that for all your games, but then spent, you know, what, 20 minutes talking about FIFA, 15-20 minutes talking about Madden. It's like, the pacing was a little bit off for me. But I still think it was a fantastic conference, just for what they've shown. Really awesome in my opinion. So if I'm going to give it a rating out of 10, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. Could have been better if they actually, you know, timed it better, more space in between them, you know, not having the sports go on for so long, as well as maybe a few more in-game like footage from Mass Effect and also Star Wars. We didn't really see anything from Battlefront 2. Why? You know what I mean? Like, it was a little bit up and down, but a pretty solid conference nonetheless. But yeah, let me know down below, guys, what's your thoughts? Did you love the conference? Are you like, it was good, or did you think it was terrible? Let me know. I reply to obviously all the comments. But yeah, guys, it's going to be awesome the next couple of days. We've got Bethesda that I will be staying up for. I know I'm going to be absolutely regretting it tomorrow, but I will be staying up for Bethesda's conference, give my thoughts on that, and then tomorrow, Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft. It's gonna be crazy. So as always, guys, this has been M&M Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.